Draw 3 cards. Huh. Oh, right, but it has to... God damn it. Well, that sucks. I'm going to play a forest, because I have a basic land. Again, enter the battlefield untapped. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 11 mana at my disposal right now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I got a feeling you got a lot of these just unsummons and resummons and make dummons and you're thrumming type cards in your hand at library, which means that because I have an ability on the board that says you keep drawing stupid amounts of cards every turn, you're probably going to be stacked with cards like that. Means looks like I'm just gonna have to keep trying here. Let me see. Well, I know that one of the moves is definitely to tap the Thatchery again.
Okay.
Because I gotta pop out snakes every single turn in order to make my strategy work. So I paid my 5 mana. I'm gonna make my 3 snakes. Okay, there are my 3 snakes. Now, how best do I want to use these snakes is the question. How much mana? All right, so I paid 5, so that means I have 6 mana left, which is not quite enough. Not quite enough, he said. Okay, so what I'm going to do actually is I am going to pay another 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to cast the Hellkite Hatchling again.
Okay.
In not so explosive fashion, I'm going to sacrifice these 4 creatures to it, including the Tukatung Thalid, who makes a Saproling token when it dies.
So now it is a 6/6 with flying and trample.
Right, so that means that every single turn, and so I'm waiting, at this point, I'm just waiting for a turn when you do not have a cheap blue spell in your hand that just says, you know, send that card back to your hand, whatever it is. Yeah. Do blue players even really pay attention to what's happening?
Hey, yes, they do. They have to spend their mana very wisely. I mean, I don't, but that's because I'm not actually a blue player.
Now, I do have an interesting little choice here, or do I? Right, because I don't have enough mana to really spend it on anything else. I'm going to pay 2 and cast the Orochi Sustainer.
Okay.
So it's going to give me even more mana available. It's an elf. That is a snake. It's an elf snake. And now I'm going to end my turn.
All right, then. And I fucked up with my mana expenditures. Okay.
Okay, upkeep.
Gain 2. Draw.
2 life. Draw step. I like it that only one thing happens per phase, but an extra thing happens for each of the subsequent 2 phases after your untap step.
Okay, so trying to think, how do I actually want to do this? Well,
I should have put more fonts of Mythos.
First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use my snow-covered plains and tap it in order to cast Path of Exile on your Hellkite Hatchling.
Okay, so now instead of just sending it back to my hand, you're just exiling it from the game.
And
okay.
you get a basic land for it.
Good. I like basic lands. Hellkite Hatchling is now exiled. I'm going to put a mountain onto my board tapped. Yeah, I'm going to put a mountain onto my board tapped.
Okay.
There's my mountain. It's on the battlefield tapped.
So then I am going to swing at you for 4 in the air and 4 on the ground.
For a total of 8 damage.
Yep.
I'm not going to block any of it. So
Okay.
I'm down to 6.
All right. Second main phase. I'm going to pay 1 to cast the Murderer Frost.
Counter target spell unless it's reveal X blue cards unless it pays X, huh? Interesting.
Okay, so then I'm going to spend 3 in order to chip away at Dark Depths. And, yeah, with that I will end.
So players can observe that with the font of Mythos on the board, in order to stop yourself from discarding cards every turn, one of the cards you draw has got to be for your land play, and then you cast 2 spells. And that's how you keep from discarding cards at the end of the turn if you have 8 or more cards in your hand. Let's do a Pinecrest Ridge. Oh my god, I think I might actually have an answer here. Okay. I know I definitely gotta take... Okay. Alright, I think I actually have a way to, like, stop the madness once and for all. I just have to be very careful with how I spend my mana here. Okay. So how much red mana do I need in order to pull this off? Because I have 6 red mana on my board right now. So 1 to do that. So ideally, I guess I just need 4 red mana. Yeah, I need 4 red mana because I don't have any flying on my board right now. Which means that I could take out... Okay, alright, very nice. Okay, so I'm going to pay a green and a red and a lot of non-green and a lot of non-red mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In order to cast the... Oh no! Am I just coming up short? Oh no! Hang on, I gotta count my mana again.
Okay.
Sorry. It's just one of the drawbacks about having lots of mana on the board. Oh wait, no, I miscounted. I have an Orochi Sustainer. I have an Orochi Sustainer that I can tap for mana, which means I have to tap the Orochi Sustainer this turn.
Okay.
Okay, green, red, and then 5 non-red mana.
3, 4. Okay.
So now I have... Is that still not enough? Or do I only need to tap 4? You know what? Yeah, I only need to tap 4 this turn. Okay, so let's say... Sorry about this, folks. No, the moose should have told you up front that the guy at the counter doesn't know how to count. Okay, 1, 2, and then 4 non-red mana.
Okay.
The Apocalypse Hydra.
All right, Apocalypse Hydra. So
because of circumstances, I can only give it 4 +1/+1 counters. So here's what I'm going to do: is I'm going to send all 4 of its +1/+1 counters as damage to Hikari Twilight Guardian by tapping everything else I have right now.
Okay, will you please do this mechanically correctly? Because I have a response.
Okay, first I have to spend the mana. So I'm putting this on the board 4 times. So.
All right.
So it's down to 0 counters, and I'm targeting Hikari Twilight 4 times.
Yeah.
What is your response?
So the first 3 of those are going to go through just fine, but then I'm going to cast Otherworldly Journey in order to banish my Hikari until the end phase.
Okay, hang on. Wow. Yeah. Actually, you don't even have to wait. Screw it. The game's over. All right, because I sunk all my mana into the target, then Apocalypse Hydra is gonna die because of state-based actions, so he's dead. I have no mana left. All my Pinecrest Ridges are now frozen. Orochi Sustainer is tapped. You have 5 damage on your board plus the 4 damage you're gonna get. Because the thing with Hikari is the thing with Hikari is that because you played an arcane spell, his ability just naturally triggers because you could put that on the stack.
If I were
to
do that specifically, he doesn't get the 1/1 counter, and I want to have him get the 1/1 counter.
Right, and that's why Hikari Twilight Guardian has a May and not a must ability. So the resolution of this game, ladies and gentlemen, unless Gerdat deigns to play other cards in addition to what he already has on the board, is Hikari Twilight Guardian and 2 unblocked on the ground attackers are going to go through 2 of my life points on the very next turn. Gerdat is going to end the game with 26 life points, including any other effects that he'd like to add. And that being said, I invite Mr. Gerdat just one more turn to show us what he's got, because he's played a pretty good game so far.
Thank you, Mr. Cloud. Upkeep.
You're welcome.
100 of Cleansing Fire gives me 2 life. Draw. Your Font of Mythos allows me to draw 3 cards. 1, 1, 2. Okay. I'm gonna put down a plains, and then because I have 10 mana, I'm gonna spend 9 of it in order to remove 3 counters from Dark Depths.
Wow, even after all that,
Yeah,
we
it
can only
takes
chip away
fucking
6 ice
35
counters.
mana or some bullshit in order to have Dark Depths resolve, which is why it doesn't act. Which is why you usually have to cheat in order to, actually get Merit Lage out. Anyway, I'm gonna swing with 5 in the air and 4 on the ground.
Yeah, what is the opposite of proliferate?
No, we don't have an opposite keyword for it.
We don't have an antonym for proliferate.
No, we don't.
Okay. Interesting. I'm going to declare the Sapperling token as a blocker on one of your first strike sentinels.
Okay.
So during the first strike step, the Sapperling token is going to die.
Yep. And then I hit
during
you in
the
face
normal
for
combat
7.
step for 7, which means I lose the game. Very nice. All right. Hasn't this been an eye-opening experience?
Font of Mythos is a very powerful card for your opponents.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially for opponents who have lots and lots of cheap ways of upsetting development on individual creatures, which is exactly what my deck is going to do. See, at Rocket Rabbit Commentaries, we find the more inconvenient the interaction among the decks, the greater the probability that the interfering player is going to win the game.
All right, it's actually a really good commander card. To be perfectly honest, it makes commander games much more fun.
Yeah, fun. Exactly.
All right, I will keep.
Oh, good lord. Do I want to keep this hand? But with the first turn? When I got first turn on the line? Well, I did the first thing, which is get that, but now... No, I got to mulligan this hand.
Okay.
Mulliganing the hand. This hand is much better looking, so I'm going to keep this one. I'm not going to make as many mistakes this time. Here we go. I'm going to start the turn with the Lantern Lake Graveyard, and I'm going to end my turn.
All right. Ooh. All right. I'm going to start with Snow-Covered Plains, and I will end.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen you play any one-drop. Actually, no, that's not true.
Hey, I
you
played Martyr last game.
my main boss. Yeah, you did. I'm going to tap the Lantern Lake Graveyard so that the Rupture Spire does not sacrifice itself when it enters the battlefield.
Okay.
End of turn 2.
All right. So I'm going to go for a Snow-Covered Island. And, I will pass.
All right. Let's keep it going. Turn 3. I'm going to put down a mountain. And I'm going to tap for a green and a gray. And I'm going to cast the Orochi Sustainer.
Okay, then.
Turn is yours, sir.
All right, then. So, I'm going to put down a snow-covered island. Then I'm going to spend 3 in order to cast the Vexing Sphinx.
Another cumulative upkeep. I always put into a graveyard, draw a card for each age counter on it. Wow. What the fuck? Damn. That's powerful.
Yes, especially for a 3-drop.
Damn. Exactly. Okay. Let's tap for a green and a gray. I'll cast
A plummet.
a Sakura Tribe. That's one thing. Like, oh gosh and golly, of all the things that I remember to put in my deck, I forgot removal. Let's put a green and a gray to cast another Sakura Tribe Elder. And I'm going to end my turn.
Okay, then.
That's all I got.
All right. Upkeep. Age counter on Vexing Sphinx. And I discard a card.
You're just getting rid of the dark
I
depths.
can't possibly resolve it.
You gave it a try.
I did. All right. Gonna put down a snow-covered plains, and then I'm gonna spend 4 in order to cast the Wall of Reverence.
At the end of your turn, you may gain life equal to the power of target creature you're... Really? So you're just going to gain 4 life at the end of your turn?
I'm gonna have Vexing Sphinx attack you for 4 in the air.
All right. I can't block it, so I'm down 4 points.
All right. During my end phase, I'm gonna have Wall of Reverence target Vexing Sphinx, so I gain 4 life. All right. I will end.
Damn, dude. Okay.